Welcome in, everyone, to this deep dive. Today, we're going to be taking a look at human-centered marketing with Cari O'Brien. We've got her presentation slides and a quick description from a conference she spoke at. So we've got some really good material to work with today.
Yeah, it's interesting actually how timely this deep dive is. With more and more AI content generators popping up, O'Brien's insights on human-centered marketing seem more relevant than ever.
Absolutely.
It's like she's providing an antidote to all the generic content out there.
I like that. An antidote. That's a good way to put it. One thing that really caught my eye was O'Brien using the phrase mediocre AI-generated content. So what do you think she means by mediocre? What's missing from all this AI stuff?
Well, I think it boils down to the fact that customers are complex human beings, not just data points for an algorithm. They've got emotions, values, experiences that shape their decisions. You can't just throw keywords and fancy tech at them and expect a real connection. It takes empathy, understanding authenticity, all those things AI just can't quite replicate. Not yet, anyway.
That makes a lot of sense. So to create content that actually connects, O'Brien talks about building these inclusive customer avatars, these ICAs, I think she calls them. And she says it goes way beyond just basic demographics.
No, absolutely. It's about understanding your ideal customer on a much deeper level, like what motivates them, what are their fears, what are their quirks. Even O'Brien gives this great example of Neytiri from the movie Avatar. Yeah, she's got demographics, but she's also a fierce warrior. She's deeply connected to nature. She's a strong leader. Those details really give you a much richer picture than just saying female, age 37.
Yeah, it's like you're writing a character for a story.
Yeah.
You want to know their backstory, their goals, their dreams, everything that makes them tick.
Exactly. O'Brien actually provides a pretty cool template to help people create their own ICAs. You can find it at bit.ly EngagePDX ICA. What I found really interesting were her sleuthing tips. She really encourages people to dig deep into their target audiences, like reading reviews, even the competitors' reviews. Spend time in those online communities where your ideal customers hang out. Maybe even conduct some interviews. Just really immerse yourself in their world.
I like that sleuthing. It's like you're a detective trying to solve the mystery of what makes your customer tick.
Okay, so say you've created this awesome multi-dimensional ICA. Now the question is, how do you reach them? O'Brien talks about meeting your audience where they are, but it feels like everyone's scattered these days. So many platforms and channels all competing for our attention. Where is everyone?
Well, O'Brien really highlights two key channels that are super important for this whole human-centered marketing thing, video and audio. But it's not just about being present on those platforms. It's about understanding the trends and how to use them to your advantage. So she's not just saying, oh, use TikTok. She's pointing out specific trends within those spaces.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Right. For video, she's talking about things like AR/VR content, shoppable video ads, and even the rise of silent videos with captions.
And for audio.
For audio, she points out how much time people are spending with digital audio every day. It's almost 2 hours. And here's the kicker. Audio listeners are actually more attentive to ads than TV viewers.
Wow. So you're more likely to remember something you hear than something that just flashes across the screen.
Interesting. It is. And O'Brien also mentions community engagement as another important way to connect. But again, it's not about just promoting yourself. It's about providing value, contributing to conversations, building relationships.
It always comes back to that human connection. So how do you actually write in a way that resonates with people and makes them want to learn more? O'Brien has these two acronyms, EET and PUP.
Right. Yep. Those are the ones EET stands for: experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. It's about making sure your content is high quality and shows your credibility. It's not just what you say, but who you are and how you present yourself.
And then PUP is about making your content people first. Personality, usability, and personability.
I really like that one. It gets to the heart of human-centered marketing, asking, what are the 3 words that define your brand's personality? Is your content easy to consume? And most importantly, are you blending empathy and authenticity to create that genuine connection? That's what takes your content from just words on a page to something that people really connect with.
It's like she's reminding us there's a real person behind every screen with feelings and needs and desires. If you can tap into that, your marketing becomes so much more powerful.
Absolutely. And speaking of powerful content, O'Brien highlights 3 specific types that are really effective for connecting and converting those ideal clients: success stories, FAQs, and demos.
Okay, those sound interesting and practical. Let's dive into those.
So let's start with success stories. I think these are powerful because they let your satisfied customers do the talking for you. Instead of just saying how great you are, you're showing real-world examples of how you've actually helped people achieve their goals.
Yeah, I could see how that would be super effective for overcoming objections. Like if someone's thinking, yeah, but will this really work for me? You hit them with a story about someone just like them who got great results.
It's like social proof on steroids.
Totally. And O'Brien says a good success story should follow like a classic storytelling arc. Start with the challenge, highlight the solution, and then showcase the positive outcomes. We love those stories.
We do. We're drawn to stories of transformation and triumph.
Makes it more relatable. Believable. Okay, what about FAQs? I'll admit I kind of gloss over those sometimes. What makes them so special in O'Brien's view?
It's more than just answering questions. It's about anticipating your customers' needs and building trust. Think about it. If you're on a website and you can't find the answer to a simple question, it's frustrating.
Ugh. Yeah, I've been there.
Right. A good FAQ page answers those questions up front. It shows you understand your customers' concerns and you're there to help. O'Brien even suggests adding a search function to your FAQ page and using visuals to make it more engaging.
Those are good tips.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to rethink my approach to FAQs.
Okay.
Okay, last but not least, demos. What's the deal with those?
O'Brien sees demos as a way to reduce risk for potential customers and even foster some early loyalty. The idea is to give them a taste of what it's like to work with you or use your product before they commit.
So it's like a test drive, letting them experience the value firsthand. That could be anything from a product walkthrough to a free consultation.
Right, exactly. You could offer a free trial, a behind-the-scenes look at your process, or a personalized assessment. The key is to tailor it to your audience.
This is making me realize demos could be so much more than just a sales pitch. It's a chance to connect with potential customers, show them you understand their needs, build trust.
And speaking of trust, demos are really good for qualifying leads. If someone's willing to take the time for a demo, they're probably more serious about working with you.
Makes sense. It's like filtering out the window shoppers and focusing on the people who are ready to buy. So we've covered O'Brien's insights on creating these inclusive customer avatars, understanding video and audio trends, and crafting content through success stories, FAQs, and demos. What does it all mean? How do we use this stuff?
Well, O'Brien quotes Walt Disney. You can design and create and build the most wonderful place in the world, but it takes people to make the dream a reality. I think that sums up human-centered marketing.
It's a nice quote, and it really emphasizes that marketing is about people connecting with people.
Exactly. So when you're creating content, ask yourself, how can I make this more human? How can I add my own voice and perspective? How can I create something that really resonates?
Those are great questions to consider. And I think they lead perfectly into our final thoughts on human-centered marketing. Okay, so we're back, and we've covered a lot of ground with Cari O'Brien's approach to human-centered marketing.
We have. It's really about understanding your audience as people and meeting them where they are. It's so important these days.
Absolutely. And I love how she breaks it down with those EAT and PUP acronyms. It really simplifies things, makes it easier to remember.
Right. They're memorable.
Yeah.
And most importantly, they're actionable.
Exactly. You know what really struck me was how O'Brien doesn't present this as just some touchy-feely thing. She shows how it actually gets results.
Yeah.
More engagement, stronger connections, and more conversions.
It's about trust and loyalty, the foundations of any good business.
In a world full of marketing messages, the brands that stand out are the ones that feel real and relatable.
Human.
Human, exactly. So for our listeners who are feeling inspired, what's the first step?
I'd say take a look at how you see your audience. Are you really seeing them as individuals with their own needs and desires? If not, that's where you start. Go deep on those ICAs. Do some sleuthing. Get to know the people you're trying to reach.
And remember, Cari O'Brien has tons of resources to help you out. You can find all her contact info, website, email, LinkedIn, Twitter. It's all in the notes for this deep dive.
Go connect with her.
Yeah, make the internet a little more human, one piece of content at a time.
Great way to put it. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.